You are listening to the Shopify Solutions Podcast, a podcast for Shopify store owners that brings you concrete examples on how to build and grow your e-commerce brand. Your host is Scott Austin. He owns a Shopify agency called Jade Puma. In this podcast, Scott will share his e-commerce insights and best practices with you.
Hey everyone, Scott Austin here, and this week we have a guest on the show. His name is Kirby, and he's from EverChew. Kirby, why don't you tell us a little bit about EverChew?
EverChew. It's a bully stick holder that I invented a few years back because dogs can choke on, like with a rawhide or a bully stick. They get down to that short little, about an inch stub, they can choke on it. And so I invented a holder to prevent that choking. And then after a failed Kickstarter, ended up launching it anyway. So me and my partner have been running now for about 3 years or so.
Nice, nice. And you were brave enough to volunteer to come onto the podcast and have me, as we just said in the pre-show, criticize your site constructively to help
Yep,
you figure out some next steps for you.
absolutely.
So here I am. I'm looking at the homepage of your website, and I just asked you a second ago, what is your business and what do you do? Can you give that to me shorter? 7 words or less. What is
Seven.
EverChew?
It is all natural bully sticks and a safety holder. I'm not sure how many that was.
Yeah, that's what you sell, right? But what
Yes.
does that get customers? What's the benefit?
Ah, peace of mind
Bingo.
that their dog won't choke. Yeah, peace of mind.
Yeah, yeah. And but you see the difference there? In the
Yes,
beginning you started telling me what you sell in physical, in the physical sense, but the benefit to your customers is not what you sell, right? It's, reduced worry about choking hazards, right?
right.
And that may not be the exact words you use, but I like to, when you explain your brand, you try. Too many people explain what they sell and not what they provide their customers, if that makes sense.
Right. Yes.
And as you introduce, the EverChew brand, I'd recommend that you think about introducing that value prop to the customer first. Like, we give you peace of mind. We give dog owners peace of mind, and then you can explain how you do that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
So what I want to do on your site is I want to dive into the product page first, because I think it's the most important page. That's where most of your conversion happens. So anybody listening to the audio version of this podcast, there will be a video also that accompanies this if you want to watch along. And when I go to your product page, the first thing I see is a little infographic, and I like infographics a lot. Because you can, visually and with some text, you can, and you got arrows on yours, which I like. You just point to things. A lot of people have been on Amazon are very familiar with infographics. I don't think enough Shopify stores do them, right? And what I see here is, on your product page, you've got heavy branding of the green color because your product is green. So that
Yep.
totally makes sense to me. And the first thing I see is the word EverChew, which is your brand. What I would say is, all your products are your own brand, so it's kind of redundant, right? You want to show the brand if you're selling, Stanley and Craftsman and Snap-on tools. You want to differentiate between the brands, but if they're all, yours, you don't really need to do that. Now let's look at that product title: Safety Chew Bully Stick Holder Starter Pack. Explain that to me. Is your brand EverChew and your product is branded Safety Chew?
Yeah, and that's kind of artificial out of history because we started out trying to be Safety Chew and we couldn't get a trademark for
Yep,
that name.
yep, yep.
So we switched to EverChew, but we had already had a history with Safety Chew. So we're kind of like now the EverChew brand with a Safety Chew ring is kind of what we're going for.
Do you think that makes sense? Do you think it's easy to explain?
I had to explain it to you. It'd be best if I didn't have to. Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
I
and
get. I,
and you only have one product, right? The what we're going to call either the Ever Chew or the Safety Chew, right?
but we have three different rings, and we brand them differently. There's the Safety Chew Plus, and then we have a new one we call the Super Chew. Um, but it's just three different sizes for three different types of dogs.
Exactly, and we'll dig into that a little bit. Is there is confusion in my mind in looking at your site between the EverChew and the Safety Chew, and you're not Apple, right? You don't have an iPad and an iPhone and an
Right.
iMac, right? Kind of thing. Now maybe you're planning to be there someday, but I also am a big fan of don't create problems that don't exist yet. Like I would have, sub brands when you have more than one brand. Right now you have,
Mhm.
one product and you can make that product's name the brand name, especially since your EverChew logo is only about that one product, right? You can see the
Yeah.
little green, bully stick holder there. So, and it makes sense to me when I first saw your site. I was like, I bet they started off as Safety Chew and for whatever reason changed to EverChew and didn't clean things up, and that's what that looks like to me. Now, I love the fact you have reviews on here. I love the fact you show a price. Now, the next thing I see is product variants, and I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 product variants, and the one with the most words in it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 words in it, two numbers. I see one with two exclamation points. It's just I'm looking at like 50 words to choose five different things. Now, what
Hmm.
I try to recommend in a situation like this is remove the redundant words. The purpose of that selector is to show the differences between your products. And what you're doing is you're describing your products. You're not showing the differences between them, right? In reality, the only difference between them, you have two differences. I didn't realize that. Yeah, so you have one variant, right? One product option
Yep.
by Shopify's vernacular when you actually have
Hmm.
two product options here, right? One is the regular bully sticks and then the thick bully sticks, right? So it's regular or thick bully sticks and no bully
Yes.
sticks is the third option in that
Yes.
product option. And then the second one is the quantity that they're purchasing, 3
Yep.
or 7, right? Now here that took me sitting here and I've already looked at your site before we started this podcast recording, right? And it took me another 30 seconds looking at it to realize, oh, there's three different things I'm picking here. Do I want to add bully sticks or not? And if I do, what size? And then once I
Hmm.
pick the size, then the quantity of them. But you've got all three of those choices put into one decision making matrix, one choice, right? When I pick any one of those items, one of the 5 product options I have here, I'm making 3 choices, and that is not intuitive to customers.
Hmm. Okay.
And don't get me wrong, this happens all the time in Shopify stores. I have a client right now. I'm going through every single one of his products and adding layers to his decision making in at the product level in this exact thing. So for you, I would at the very least have it be, is it bully stick size, regular or thick?
And then there's a third size for the other rings. Yes.
Yeah, but on this one here, it's
Yeah.
size, stick size, and then stick quantity, and have those as separate options. And in the stick size, it would probably be regular, thick, or none, right? Holder only.
Yep.
Um, it just, like I said, that is just very, very confusing. And
Okay.
remove the redundant words, right? So every single one of these options includes one
Yeah.
Safety Chew, so I don't have to say that,
Yes.
right? Every that's just a given. So just highlight the differences, right? You don't have to use the word, bully sticks every time. You can just, quantity, stick quantity 3, stick, 7, and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And you'd be amazed at, just spending the 2 minutes fixing that, how much easier it's going to be for people to understand the choices that are before them on this page. Right? Now, I do like the fact that you have them as, that they're not a drop down menu, right? They're buttons. So I can see all my options without clicking a drop down
Yes.
menu. So that's a good thing.
Yes.
Now, and I love the reviews being shown. I think you're using Judge Me for reviews. I
Yep.
would not use Judge Me's crappy little product seals because they don't match your brand, and there's no way to map them to your brand inside of Judge Me. Um,
Hmm.
Now, if I select one of your choices, 1 Safety Chew, 3 regular 6-inch bully sticks, right? I've selected that. I see in the image a Safety Chew and 3 bully sticks, 6-inch. Then I click on the 1 Safety Chew, 7 regular 6-inch bully sticks, and the image doesn't update.
Yes.
So what I like to show, so you start off with the infographic, and what's happened is I'm still on that same infographic, right? I like the fact you open up with an infographic, but what I would like to see when I click on one safety chew, 3 regular 6-inch bully sticks, I would like to see only in that image one safety chew and 3 6-inch bully sticks. None of the
Gotcha.
other information, none of these gratuitous little graphics here, which add no value whatsoever to what's going on. And just make it really plain and simple, because this product, the variant level photos, I don't know if you're assigning variant level photos at all, but so far I haven't seen one assigned. But that variant
Think
level
so.
photo, that follows the customer through to the cart and the checkout and the post purchase process. So when they make a selection with one, safety chew and 3 bully sticks, they will see that in every communication you send to them. If they make it one bully or one chew or a safety chew and 7 bully sticks, they'll see that throughout their in experience. So it's just reinforcing for them visually the choice that they made, because the naming of your choices is also so hard to follow. So just give them that affirmation of the choices that they're making, right? Like when I click on the one safety chew holder only, no sticks, it's nice. So that you do change the variant image, but I would get rid of, at the variant image level, I would get rid of the text around it, because that shows, like I said, it shows up in the cart, it shows up in emails that go out, and that text is going to be really, really small and hard to make out. So
Hmm.
I would say, I want that image to be exactly only what they get in the package and everything that they get in the package, right? You might even show the
Right.
box or something like that. Now, this isn't a gift, so it doesn't come with gift packaging and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of stores that tell them, show your gift box if there's a gift box that it comes with and all that kind of stuff. So you want it to be very clear to them what they're getting when they make that choice. And the other thing here is, when I buy 3 bully sticks or 7, well, let me go to another product when I critique on that, because it'll make more sense in another product. Your add to cart button is an orange color, which is also used on other places on your page, right? It's one of
Hmm.
your brand colors. You're using it for your review. So I got a write a review button, which I'm also not a fan of having a write a review button on the product page. You're supposed to judge me. There's an option you can have where you can just have it only through email solicitation, because there's no need
Right.
for an anonymous person to be writing a review, and they're never going to. So you just reduce a button on your page, kind of thing. Do love the fact that someone actually submits a photo, right? I think that's going to be fabulous for your brand as people show their cute dogs with their. Oh, and that's awesome, because those are highly used, right? Kind of things. That's awesome.
Yes. Yeah.
Better that's going to be, right?
Yeah. I think we use Judge Me to also send out after they do a review, it
The
sends them a
media
follow
reminder.
up saying,
Yep.
yes.
Yeah, and I will send 2 or 3 of those emails depending on the brand, because and yours is perfect for it, where they're not showing the product as much as they're showing the dog, and that just gives authenticity to what you're doing, right? Especially that one photo I looked at where those are highly used, which means they're highly loved holders. Now, so the add to cart button, orange like other things on the page, and at the top I have this promotion
Yep.
which scrolls, which I'm going to tear that apart later on. But that's this bright red, right? What is the one thing on this page that I am seeing right now? It's the bright red promotion that takes
Yeah.
me off of the page that I'm on right now, and I'm on a decision making page to buy a product. If your add to cart button was that red, and it was the brightest, most obvious thing on the page, is directing people, here's what I want you to do, add it to the cart. I've gotten down to the product page. You don't want to take me off the product page, right? You want me to add to cart. The only choice you want on this page is add to cart. So
Okay.
I would change that button to be a red. Now you got a nice little video here. Oh yeah, so I've watched this video before. I love this video. It's you with your dog, and the dog talks to you in the video. I love that. That video is fabulous. Was that your Kickstarter video?
Absolutely. It was. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It shows, because it's much higher quality than other videos on your site. And when we get to your homepage, I'll explain what I mean by that. But I love that video. Well done. It's good to include there. Now you've got some. Oh wow, that's interesting. So I'm clicking on your accordion functionality underneath the video, and it actually is moving my images when I do that. Oh, you've got that aligned. I hate that aligned image thing. Where it splits your page into two, and it scrolls up and down with you, kind of thing. I'm just not a fan of that, because one reason I'm not a fan of it is it doesn't matter on mobile, right? This is all going to be stacked on the mobile phone. We're looking at it on
Yeah.
desktop. Um,
Hmm.
and I'm just not a fan of things moving, right? When I click on this thing over here, I want this to move. I don't want, but the images move when I do that, and it makes me wonder, like, oh, what did I miss? What happened over there? And then I go over there, and nothing changed. It just moved the
Yep.
placement of it to align with the other thing. So it's one of those. It's sending a message to your customers, but doesn't make sense why it's doing that, right? Um,
Hmm.
and it's sort of like, I kind of did a snide little critique of your gratuitous graphics up here in your infographic. They add no value to the process, right? It's designed for the sake of design, not designed for the sake of informing the customer. And that little motion on at the theme level, it's the same thing, right? It's designed for the sake of design. It doesn't add value to the customer. Therefore, I don't like it.
Hmm.
I'm a big believer that any chance you give someone to be confused by what you're doing, they will take advantage of that opportunity, and they will be confused. Um, Customers do not spend the time and energy on our website that we think they should do when making a purchase process. We're all distracted, we're all multitasking, and we expect people to give us their undivided attention, and they're not going to. So the things that we can remove from the site, the gratuitous things that are cool or sexy, they only confuse people. They only distract people, right? Keep them focused on what they're doing. But I like this information. I personally, I usually put this under the page, where you have the reviews. Your theme probably does it here by default for you, but I like to move those just so they go a little wider on desktop. But once again, optimizing for desktop is not important. Now, what I love is as I click one of them open, it says the word dishwasher safe. Um, Supervision required is weird to me. Like, maybe that's real, but that would make me think I don't want to buy this thing. Like, I have to watch my dog eat his chew. Um,
Yeah. The purpose of that is, I think it's default for all products, is you don't want the dog to start chewing on the ring too much and potentially, yeah, in case there's a failure, I guess is the point.
yeah, I totally get it, right? But if I'm sitting here buying the thing and it says supervision required, you have to watch your dog eat its chew. I'm like, maybe I don't want to buy this thing. Maybe it's not. And you're covering your ass legally, but that's another reason for customers to not make their choice, right? Kind of thing. But what's missing here, right? So you've got this information, it's in text. You bold some of it, you bullet point. That's all good, right? Um, you don't have any graphical support. The one you do have is the one I didn't like, which is the judge me badges. But some trust badges here about your main value props. For example, I think on your homepage I saw that you're made in the United States, correct?
Yes.
Here on this page, I don't see that. And maybe it's buried in one of these accordions. I don't know, but like, in
Hmm.
today's world where there's, made in the United States has cachet, at the very least, there's the whole nationalist side of Americans, but there's also
Uh,
well, it's not made in China. So, and we don't trust what China's, materials are, or ingredients, or safety, that kind of stuff, right? Made in America, I always say, if you can say made in America, say made in America on the product page, right? So a little product seal about made in America. um, Dishwasher safe would be another great product seal, all natural, those kind of things. Those are
mhm.
all good things to highlight there. um, and you're highlighting tons of stuff. I would just also highlight it graphically, right? So you
Gotcha.
want text, you want images, you want graphics, you want video. You already got three of the four. Just some graphics, a little more graphics wouldn't hurt you here, kind of thing. But I like, you've actually got a product description with lots of different ways to think about things and explain things to people, which is really nice. I actually didn't look through your product photos. Let's scroll through them. Yeah, so the thing you're missing here is your size guide. All right, here's the video I hated. I can't stand video. Yep, it's doing it right there, right? I can't stand video that does not have audio. You're sitting there. So in this video, it's
Ah,
really cute, right? You got this husky on the floor looking up at the bully stick that the pet owner is putting together and putting in your holder. And what she's doing is every once in a while, she gestures with her hand the thing that you could easily say, look how easy it is to, I got a hole in the bully stick that's going to go into the pin, right? So I've got to, and once again, this goes back to you expect your customers to pay way more attention to what you're doing here than they're going to give you. So if you show me a video and you just have a voiceover, and in today's world, you can do an AI voiceover super freaking easy, right? It's still an authentic video. But you put an AI voice if you don't want to, do your own voiceover. And I've actually
mhm.
done this with some of my own house ads. There'll be a house ad in this podcast episode, which is an AI voiceover that I did the original one, and my voiceover kind of sucked, so we just did an AI, with the script that I had made myself, kind of thing. It's so easy to do that kind of stuff today, and this is just one of those, you're not respecting the customer's laziness. Like the fact that I can't stand when someone on a video with their mouse or their finger points at something and doesn't use words to describe what they're pointing at.
Hmm.
Right. So, and this is a great video from a video quality. It's horrible from an audio quality because there's no audio. Right. So I just recommend that you add an audio voiceover. Change nothing else about the video. Just add an audio voiceover. And those people who are, driving in their car while watching the video, which people are doing, they can hear
Yeah.
things and watch traffic a little bit more, kind of thing, right? I always try to say, think about the person watching this video is a parent driving their kid to soccer practice, and they're at the stoplight looking at your website. Now you laugh when I say that, but if you think about it that way, you will make a much simpler, much more, brain dead simple type experience, because the point of that is people are not giving you the undivided attention you think they are. So you've got to give them content in every format possible, because we all absorb content differently, and dumb things down as much as possible, right? So what I don't see here though is who, who this safety chew stick holder is best for. And by who, I mean what size dog, right? You said you have 3 different
Hmm.
products. We're going to talk more when we get to the collection page about, that decision making engine of, which of the 3 products should you be on. But now I'm on this page. So what dog is this safety chew bully stick holder best for?
The we have a size guide that
Yeah,
uh,
answer my question here. What dog is this one best for?
the original safety chew is best for about 25 pounds and under.
Okay, so this husky I'm looking at, how much does he weigh?
That's my business partner's dog.
Does he weigh more than 25 pounds?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So you're showing me a dog on this page that does not use this or should not be using this product. And the video is actually, now that I look at it, of a different product, I think. One of the higher, one of the next ones up in the scale. So every, nowhere on here does it say best for dogs under 25 pounds.
Hmm.
So up higher, you're going to help me make those decisions. Like I said, we're going to talk about that quite a bit. But here, you need to reinforce that again with a little trust badge, safety icon, whatever you want to call it, that says, for dogs under 25 pounds. And every image on this page should be about dogs under 25 pounds. So you got this video here of the husky. You need to do it with, a smaller dog. You got this video here. You need to do it with a smaller dog. So it's always reinforcing. You got a small dog, you're in the right place, right? If
Okay.
I'm on the small dog product page and I see big dogs, I get confused. Is this the right product for my small dog? Well, I'm seeing a husky. Maybe it's not, right? And once again, they're not going to watch it enough to realize that this is a different product in this video than the one that I'm looking at here.
Okay.
So now I'm scrolling down. So you get the reviews. Love that. You're showing dates on your reviews, which is good. And I can see the most recent review is 6 days ago. So I can see that people are actually buying your product, which is a good thing. Now I get down to check out our other holders and refill packs. Oh, wait a second. Why do I see reviews twice? Yeah, I see reviews twice. So you just got the module in there twice or something.
Is one a product review and other ones is more of a general store review? I
Why
think
would
is
you
what it
ever
may be
do that?
doing.
You may be doing that, but why would you ever do that? Let me actually see. No, they look like they have both the same number of things going on, but
Okay.
so I would, once again on this product, I would only show reviews of this product, right? And that'll once again reduce a little confusion.
Okay.
So here under the first review thing, there's a check out our other holders and refill packs. If your
hmm
site, so how many products do you sell in your store today? How many different SKUs or product? Let's
Gee.
do products, not SKUs.
We sell, oh wow. Let's say a dozen.
I think it's less than that. I think you have 3 starter packs and how many refills? You have 2
Three
refills,
different.
1 refill. So you have 4 products in Shopify right now. 3 starter packs, 1 refill, right? Now it's more SKUs than that. You probably have 12
Okay.
SKUs.
I
Yep.
see what you're saying. Yeah.
So here on this product page, there's only 4 choices in the whole store. If I get down to the Safety Chew Bully Stick Holder Starter Pack, you should have absolute confidence they're on the right page, the right product. And by the time we're done with this conversation, you'll understand more what I mean by that, which means there is no reason to be cross promoting any other product in your store on that product page. Now, Amazon does this because they have
Yeah.
400 million products in their store and they have no confidence you're on the right product page because you have a small product set and you're going to have a much more curated shopping experience, a decision making engine. You're going to have confidence they're on the right product page. Therefore, you don't need to cross promote the other products.
Okay.
Okay. So that is your product page. I'm going to add a product to the cart and look what your cart looks like. You got the drawer cart, which is not a bad thing. Premium shipping protection. You got that as a, so you're opting me into that by default. Is that what that says?
Yes.
Do your customers like that?
Most of them leave it.
That does not mean they like it. Most of them may not notice it, right?
Possibly. Yeah.
Yeah. So and
And maybe
I
on
have
mobile. Yeah.
yeah I have no opinion on that. None of my clients do that, so I've never really seen it before. I've never had a conversation about it before. But you're taking an extra dollar from your customers, and maybe they appreciate that, but I don't know, and I would double check that kind of thing. So there's no cart here, right? This is your whole cart, the drawer. So then I can go to checkout. Um, You've got it, your checkout branded. It took me to Shop Pay, which is crap. So we'll check out as guest. And that's a Shop Pay thing that I'm not a fan of. That's not something you guys did.
Yeah.
It just automatically sees that I have a Shop Pay account and takes me to the Shop Pay checkout, which I think is a huge disservice that Shopify is doing right now to stores, and which means they will probably fix that in the future, I'd imagine. Yeah, so you got the normal checkout. There's no customizations done to it other than color. Is this a blue that you use in your theme? I don't think
The
it is.
No, if it is, it's a default.
Yeah. So I would just change that to map to your branding a little bit better. Other than because you got the green and the orange, and I don't think this blue I saw on your site before. Why do you have the registered trademark on your logo?
I guess it's kind of overkill by this point. It's just that the name EverChew is registered.
Yeah.
So
Well, so here's the thing: is your attorney you use to get your trademarks probably told you to do that. And there, you need to do that while you're doing the process to show you're serious about it. But if you go to the Nike website or the Apple website, you will not see a single R in a circle or TM, right? they are not required. Some lawyers will tell you to do it while you're in your process. I think when I see that, and I have one client, they have it like 75 times on a single page, and I'm trying to convince they don't need to do that, right?
Hmm.
But I just think it makes your site look a little more amateur and small by doing that, because for that, when you're doing that, you're focused on the legal process. You're not focused on your customers. Your customers don't care about that at all, right? The lawyers care about that, and I don't like optimizing a site for the lawyers. I like optimizing a site for the customer. So my 2 cents on that one. Now, one of the things you can do here is you got the single page checkout, which is nice. You can right here change this text string or to be or use credit card. I think one of the confusing things about the Shopify checkout
Hmm.
is you got the quick pay buttons at the top, and most people
Right.
don't understand what those things are by default, and they actually take you to different experiences, like we saw a second ago, as in the Shop Pay checkout. And there's like certain apps you can add to your checkout that don't work inside of Shop Pay, which is why I think these things are a disservice. So in some stores, we actually turn those alternative checkouts off, or at the very least, you can put or use your credit card right here, and that'll make it easier to people understand that they want to use their credit, because the credit card's down the page. They don't see that, so it's just
Right.
explaining this a little bit better. Single line of text to change there.
Okay. Yeah, I can still edit this page. That's right.
Well, this is in the text strings file in your theme. It's not in theme customization, but it is in the text strings. It's hard to find that one depending on your theme, because if you just search for the word or, it'll come up a couple thousand times. But you can figure it out and find it, but it is kind of a pain one to find. But it's worth it most definitely for your store.
Okay.
So we talked about the product page. I want to go up a level. We mentioned before you only have 4 different products for sale in your store right now, with multiple SKUs underneath that. So the SKU level decision making engine, you're going to cover that in the product page like we talked about. Now let's talk about the decision making that happens at the store level. The first thing is, I'm buying starter packs or I'm buying refills, correct?
That's it. Yeah,
So
pretty
it's new
much.
customer versus returning customer.
Right.
What percentage of your sales are first time purchasers?
We're not running very many ads right now, so I would say it's less than half, maybe 30%.
30% are repeat?
30% are first time.
Oh, that's a sign you're not marketing enough, believe it or not.
No, we're not right now. Yeah.
Yeah, like I have clients who have a 14% conversion rate in their store, which sounds fabulous. It actually means they're not marketing enough. People love their products. They have so many repeat purchases, but they don't have new purchasers. The fact that your new purchasers is so low, even on a consumable product like you have, is a
Hmm.
sign to me that you're not doing enough marketing, right? But that's a
Right.
separate problem. Do you run a Shopify store? Are you looking for honest feedback on your store? That's where I come in. I'm Scott Austin, and I run a Shopify agency. I've helped hundreds of Shopify stores launch and grow. That's given me lots of insights into what works. I'll apply that knowledge to evaluate your store. In the end, clients love the feedback I give them. A recent review summed it up well by saying, "It was one of the best investments I have made in my store to date." It is clear, constructive criticism that a serious store owner needs. Click on this ad to learn more about an audit for your Shopify store. The first choice people have is, are you new at the EverChew and need to buy one, the first time, or are you doing refills? And you have that. It says starter packs and refills up the top. I might word that differently, but it's nice that that's up there. Now, the all products I normally do, but in your store I might not, because the choice is so simple. Are you getting started, or are you buying a refill, right? There's not overlap. Those should be easy enough for people to understand. But let's look at your
Yeah.
starter packs.
And
I click on the starter packs.
that was actually a change I made. Listen to some of your earlier podcasts, because it used to be just all products. And listening to you, I figured out I should break it out. And I should give kudos to my partner Anthony, because he's the one that built the site. And then I go in and and tweak it and break it and things like that. But the base of it is his.
Nice, nice. Well, so here I clicked on starter pack, right? So however you message to people, get started, starter packs, get the holder, whatever. I see three products here. Explain to me the difference between those three products.
The difference is based on how aggressive of a chewer the dog is.
That's not true though. It's a two-factor thing. It's the size of the dog and how aggressive of a chewer they are, correct?
It is a blend of the two, actually.
Yep,
Yes.
yep. Because I actually went through your quiz, right? So here's the thing, right? This quiz, it's great you have a quiz and they're fine. I like quizzes, right? You need to make this page the same as the quiz. And not that you click but in the quiz, you ask people questions like, what size dog do you have? I don't see that here on this page, right? Now, here on this page, I do see, I got a Frenchie for this one. Maybe Frenchies are mostly under 25 pounds. I got like a collie of some sort and a husky, right? So, but what it needs to be is, so sorry, I'm just stuck here because this is so common of a mistake, right? Your collection page is a list of products. It is not a decision-making engine. Now, for your decision-making engine, you have, first thing is your size of your dog, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is your dog under or over 25 pounds? So you could say that right here. You could have a headline that says, for dogs under 25 pounds. And below that, for dogs over 25 pounds. Now, if I'm a 20-pound dog and I'm a not aggressive chewer, I get the safety chew, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I am a under 25 pound and an aggressive chewer, what do I get?
You get the Safety Chew Plus.
The Safety Chew Plus. Okay. Now, if I'm over 25 pounds and I'm not an aggressive chewer, what do I get?
Safety Chew Plus.
All right. And if I'm over 25 pounds and I am an aggressive chewer, I'm going to guess I get the Super Chew.
Yep.
Right? So you have these names, Safety Chew Plus, Super Chew, right? And that makes sense to me now a little bit. I could argue that if I wanted to, but it makes sense, right? Do you think those names help customers make decisions?
With you asking me the question like that, I'm not sure.
Yeah, and that's totally fair, right? But imagine if what you had on this page was 4 products, not 3. And in the first one, it said, for dogs under 25 pounds, normal chewers, aggressive chewers. Right? For dogs over 25 pounds, normal chewers, aggressive chewers, and it took it with the right products. Mm-hmm. And even remove the Safety Chew Plus, and the Super Chew.
Okay.
And you can even have an icon for that image, right? That showed those two things, dog size and chew aggressiveness. Now this is a decision-making page.
Yes. I like what you say. I like what you say, use an icon to represent size and aggressiveness.
Yep. Which, because you've already got the icon for the size and aggressiveness. You're doing it both, right? So the collie, I guess, is a non-aggressive chewer, where the husky is an aggressive chewer. So you're doing it a little bit there. Just take that kind of thing and take it to the next level, right? And on these images that I see, right, there's a lot, the middle one, there's a lot going on that one, where I got the, it's the infographic style thing where there's a bunch of gratuitous graphics. There's the product and some text about it. There's the bully stick, some text about it, a pencil to compare size. That's way too much information, right? The only thing I need to know on this page, the only thing you need to know, the only thing your customer needs to tell you is the size of their dog and the aggressiveness of their chewing. That's all that matters here. Those are the decisions that are being made, right? So, and you're doing what many stores do, which is they explain their products. They don't help customers understand the differences between their products.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
This is an easy one because you only have 4 products. It's a super easy problem to solve, right? And on this page, and like it seems kind of crazy at first when I say you got 3 products, you need to show 4 here, because the decision making is a 2x2 matrix, right? So that gets you 4 end results.
Right.
And then so turn this page into that, right?
Gotcha.
Decision-making engine. I'm saying what size dog I have. And then once I say the size of dog, I'm saying how aggressive their chewing is. Now, you might need a little bit of explanation of aggressive chewingness and what that means. And that you can hold that somewhere else on another page, a buyer's
Hmm.
guide with more details or something like that. But turn this page into that type of structure, and it's going to be way easier for people to understand what of your products is better for them, right? And then, as I said before, that consistency of only show the small dogs on the small dog products, right? So you may
Yeah.
have your Safety Chew Plus, you may make that 2 products, one for small dogs and one for small dogs that are aggressive chewers, and one
Hmm.
for large dogs that are not aggressive chewers. And the messaging is going to be completely different on them, even though it's the exact same product, right?
Same SKU. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Now in Shopify, that can be a pain in the ass if you're managing your inventory inside of Shopify. You can't have 2 SKUs that are the same, but you can figure those things out also, right?
Yeah. I've got an inventory app. It takes care of
Yeah,
that for
that
me.
takes care of it for you. Then you're totally fine.
Yeah.
So then on your refills, so you have this cute little candy cane thing that's sold out. Is that only for the holidays?
Yes.
So get it off this page. You might keep it in your store so people can sign up for all that. But right now, I want refills, and the first thing I see is I got 2 choices, but one of the
Mm,
choices is out of sale or is out of stock. Oh,
right.
dang, is that the one I really wanted? Oh, maybe I should come back later, right? Now, you're probably thinking, well, Scott's being stupid and he's exaggerating a point here, and I totally am, right? But always assume your customer's stupid, not because they are, but because they're distracted, right?
Yes.
And here, if I see, that candy cane, my dog would love that. It's sold out. If you're not going to have it until next December, you know, I'm not saying take it out of your store. I'm saying
Right.
don't promote it under refills. They're different things, right? So
Okay.
your refills can go straight to a product page instead of having a collection page in the middle, right? Your refills link in the header. And then they go to that page, and let's talk about the decision making that happens here. So here, we're doing a better job because we're broken out our options, right? You're picking the length separate from the thickness and all that kind of stuff. Now, in my starter kits, did I have a thickness of ballistic option?
You did. It
Okay.
depending on which holder it was, you had 2 different sizes of sticks you could choose.
So are your customers going to understand? So now I get it, right? So you've got your 3 different holders, which have a combination of lengths and thicknesses. And I didn't see all these options on a single product, but if I looked across all the holder products, I would see all these different options, correct?
Hmm.
So they're probably not going to know which product they bought. But what I'm wondering here, in which holder they bought is what I'm saying. But what I'm wondering here is how are they going to be able to figure out which of these is the right one for them, right?
Yes, and we have occasionally had customers, they've got the plus ring,
Yep,
but it won't take the smaller regular size sticks. And
yep,
so then they misorder something. And so
yep.
that's a confusion. We've been trying to figure out how to simplify that messaging. Yeah.
Well, so maybe, yeah, I'm thinking of a couple different things here, right? So maybe we go back to that starter packs page concept we had, where you have the decision making matrix of size of dog and aggressiveness of chew, right? And then
Mhm.
when they click on that, then you can ask them, do you want the starter pack? Well, you're doing it already, right? Here, if I go to this product, the one we started on, where you can order just the holder, which is
Mhm.
there really a reason anybody should order just the holder?
Some people do because their dog eventually tears it up, and so they want to get a new holder. And so that's
But
we
they
didn't
don't need replacement bully sticks when they do that?
we didn't have it on the store for 2 years, and people kept bugging us, and so we eventually just gave in and added it.
The fact that most people ask for it, that's justification enough for me. Um, So, because what I'm thinking is you probably have customers who buy their own bully sticks, drill a hole
Yes.
in it, and they just want you for the holder, which is, if that's what they want to do, that's totally fine, right? They're
Yep.
not participating in your razor blade business model, but they're still participating in your ecosystem.
Yep.
So what you could think about here is you might, as we build out these different options, right? This product, instead of being called the Safety Chew Bully Stick Holder Starter Pack, could be called, for small dogs who are not aggressive chewers. And their option is holder, yes or no, and then sticks, 6-inch, thick or regular quantity, and those kind of things. So they could order refills on this same page.
I see what you're going for. Yeah.
So what you're doing is you're picking your dog, right? My dog is small and non-aggressive. And
Yes.
now I see all my options. I can get holders, I can get refills. For my dog, the recommended bully sticks are regular or thick 6-inch, right? And I see
Right.
that all here. Right?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a total reorg, but I see why you're basing it based off the dog.
I'm thinking about the customer. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm putting it in words they understand, and I'm thinking about them, I'm not thinking about your products. I'm thinking about your customers.
Yes. Right.
Like I said, many people sell a list of products or show a list of products. They don't help their customer understand the differences between those.
Right.
So, going back to the refill page, the products, where you do have all those choices, and one of those choices is choose your pack size. 7, 16, better value. 32, best value. I like that. One thing I would do even better than that is show the price per stick.
Okay.
Right. So 16 is a better value. So my price for 7 is $25.99. Right. 16, my price is $54.99. And if on Amazon, and I got this idea from Amazon originally, right? And I use it in a lot of stores now. If we're doing quantity as a variant, we always show the price per unit when they make that decision. So you're showing them buy more, save more, right? We say buy more, save more. That's what you're saying, better value, but show it, right? Because if I save, let's say if I buy 7 bully sticks, that is $26. So it's like, $4 or $5 a piece, $4 a piece, $3 or $4 a piece. So let's just say it's $3.50, right? If I click on the 16 and I see it's $2.50, I'm buying it. If I click on it and I see it's $3.25, I don't really need to spend that extra. So by showing how much savings they get, you end up moving people up to the higher quantity ones. Like I'm one cheap SOB, right? So I order, like my toilet paper, my toothpaste, my shaving cream from Amazon, and I order the highest pack size they have. So I have a 12 pack of shaving cream in my and I live alone, right? So and I know it lasts 6 years because that's how long since I bought the 12 pack. I just bought one a couple months ago, right? I have 6 years worth of shaving cream, but I'm so cheap. I like it because it shows me. You buy one can, it's $6. You buy 12 cans, it is literally $2.50 per can. I'm like, I'm saving the money. I'm just going to fill up my shelves, kind of thing. Now I'm crazy, but there are crazy people out there that will do this kind of stuff. So if you're going to show, if you're going to have, price as a variant, show the savings for that. And then we usually do some custom code in our client stores to do that. And we put it right up here next to the price. We'll say, when they click on the set and they see the $25.99, it'll say $3.50 each, right? And they click on 16, it'll say $2.50 each or $3.25, whatever it is. And sometimes we also do infographics down below, sort of like you got this infographic here. We'll show the more you spend, the more you save, and we'll show the price each on the different quantities and that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of cool stuff that you can do there. Does that all make sense?
Oh yeah, makes perfect sense.
So let's talk about your about page next. We've talked about your shopping experience, right? We talked about the products, the collections, how you could rethink the way that you show that kind of stuff. I'm a huge believer in about pages. I think teams are super important, and you've got an our team page, and I like your story. I read it before. You talk about how you had a problem firsthand with your dog. Having a panic attack about them, choking hazards and all that kind of stuff. Totally makes sense, right? You show a photo of the three of you, which is great. Here's the thing: where are your dogs?
They weren't at Super Zoo, which is where the photo was taken.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah,
I think you can take more than one photo every 3 years of your team, right?
yes,
Yeah. So, and I literally tell all my clients on your about page, I want to see babies and dogs. It makes even more sense for you guys, especially if you're telling the story of, is it Lola? Is your dog's name?
it was Eva at the time. Yeah,
Oh, Eva, right? I want to see a photo of Eva, right? The dog that started this whole thing, right? It just adds credibility, and it also makes you more human, right?
yeah,
What a lot of companies try to do, a lot of small companies try to do, they try to seem bigger than they are, right? If they have 4 products, they turn it into 16 products on their website, and it just confuses people, right? If they are only 2 or 3 people, they try to look like they have 15 people at their company. Like, embrace your small because it's authentic, right? You guys care about animals. You had, firsthand problems everybody can relate to. You're telling the story. I love that. Your video tells the story even better. I love that. Just, do it a little bit more here is all I'm saying, right? This is
okay,
a good about page. You
good.
can, go to the next level. Um, like on your about page, you should not have a promise, right? And that kind of stuff. Keep it about the people, right? Now
Hmm.
you may have a separate about page about the process, like, here's our safety standards, here's how we make sure it's all natural and all that kind of stuff. You can separate those
Yeah,
two out, right? I'm not going to go through you don't have a lot of pages here, right? But I'm not going to go I am going to go through one more of them now that I think about it, because it's very confusing, I think. So there's very little here for me to get a feel for who and what you guys are. Um, so you might want to think about doing you know, how we do it. You have a how it works page. You also have some contrast issues on color here, right? That's very hard to read
oh,
with that background
yeah, it
color.
is.
And there's actually tools that'll tell you your contrast is poor. But spending a little bit of time, like you're doing here, explaining it, that's good stuff to do for the people that really want to understand that. Now, the page that I did think was confusing was retailers. So in your main nav, I see the word retailers, and I'm thinking I can buy your stuff at a pet store near me. I can get it today. But when I go there,
Oh,
it's for wholesalers, right? It's not for
yes.
me as the customer to go buy it in a store. It's for me, a wholesaler, to do it, kind of thing. So I would just label that wholesalers, and I would move it
Okay.
to the footer, right? And I would not
Mm,
duplicate links in the header and footer nav. I would keep your shopping links in the header, which you have very few, and that's totally fine. Too many people try to fill up their header and give multiple choices. Like, if you only have one choice, tell us about your dog. That should be it, right? Because
mm,
everything here should be a shopping experience, right? If they want to learn more about the brand, let them go to the footer and figure that out. They know where to
right,
get that information. But
right.
the right now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 links in the header plus a currency one. Those 7 things. Now I got to think. I have to look at each one of those 7 things, understand what they are, and ask myself which one's most important for me. Assume most of your customers are shopping because you are an e-commerce store, and
Right.
then all you need are your shopping links up there, and your shopping links are easy. Tell me about your dog, or tell us about your dog, right? um,
Yes.
that might not be the right wording, but something along those lines. Keep it super simple. The less links you have up there, you're lucky. You get to have very few links up there. Other stores, I have stores, with 30, 50,000 SKUs, and it's a nightmare. But that's their business. They have to manage that nightmare. You have the luxury of making it nice and simple for your customers. So go ahead and make it nice and simple for your customers.
Okay.
Now, I'm not a fan of your footer. Um, so you've got this green background color, except in the header. I think most of your pages have the green background color, and it
Yes.
blends right into your footer. So I can't tell the difference between the footer and the page. Right? I like to see difference in background colors between those two. Usually, I like white pages. Right? We already talked about the contrast issues. Even here, right? This green is closer to this green than a white would be. Right? So there's
Right.
contrast issues there. White's going to pop more, and it also delineates, what's your page and what's your footer. Now,
Hmm.
on your footer here, you got these links or these icons, right? I like icons about NBC, Fox, Modern Dog Magazine. That sounds great, but it's, once again, you got these gratuitous graphics things in here,
Hmm.
which just confuse things, right? But the worst part about this is it's clickable. This is on the footer. I wouldn't put this in the footer. I would not put this on every single page on your website. But the
Okay.
worst part about it is it's on every single page of your website. It's at the bottom of the page. So if I didn't find what I was looking for, I might click here. And where does it take me?
It takes you to one of our influencers.
It takes you to a competitor. It takes you off your website.
Yeah.
You never, ever want to link off your website unless required by law or some extreme thing, right? Even if you wanted to tout like, hey, we were on NBC News or Good Morning America or whatever, take them to a blog article and embed that content there. Don't take them off your website.
Hmm. I see. Okay. I see what you're saying.
And then let's go to your homepage and see what we got there. So here's where I found out you were made in America. You need to be consistent in that. We talked about that simple message of the value prop you guys provide, which is peace of mind. What I like to see here in this homepage banner is that you are here sign, right? This is what we do. This is what we provide you, right? Which isn't what you sell. What we provide you is not what you sell, right? It's the result of what you sell, right?
Right.
Which is the peace of mind thing. However, you guys will work on that messaging quite a bit, right? That's a really hard 7 words to come up with, but when you can come up with that, it makes your life much easier, right? So in your you are here sign, right? You want to explain to people what it is you provide them so that they can say that's what I want or don't want and leave if they're in the wrong place. Anybody who goes, oh,
Hmm.
I'm looking for cat toys, and like these guys don't sell cat toys, and they leave, that's a favor to you, right?
Right.
And then also tell them your differentiation, right? Why is yours better or something like that. But what you're doing here, right? Our patented bully stick holders eliminate eternal blockage and choking risk. The fact it's patented does not matter at this moment, right? That's a product seal you put in later on, patented or something like that. Which, right now you're just trying to, we do the peace of mind thing, and keep your pup safe and occupied with our patented. You said patented twice there. Made in USA. I got made in USA here and over here. Bully stick holders and healthy all natural dog chews. Like you call them bully sticks one place, you call them something else another place. It's just there's too
Yeah.
much, right? It's this has to be super precise and concise, which is really, really hard to do. It's really
Yeah.
easy to make this long and confusing. It's really hard to make it simple and concise, right?
I know. You know how hard it was to get that patent?
Yeah,
I know.
but
I
what
get
does that
what you're
matter to your
saying.
customer?
I
Right? That
know.
matters to you. It does not matter to your customer. Too many times we want to talk about all the things we do when all the customer cares about is Fido not choking. That's all they care
Right.
about. They
You're
love
right.
their dogs. They don't love your patent.
I know.
Trusted safety for every chew. That's better, right? than what's above it, kind of thing. We already talked about this video. Now this image here, it doesn't feel quality to me, right? The background color, the cropping that happened here. I don't have a better option for you, but I would expect to see. Well, do you expect people to hold their holder for their dog?
No,
That's what you're showing them in the main image in your homepage.
that is true.
Yeah. So you're showing them how they should not use the product. Right. Now, what I love is in your this stuff here, right? These photos are fabulous.
Yeah.
So think
Okay.
about something along that line that shows a cute dog having a great time, and I love the fact when they hold the holders themselves so they get better leverage on the bully stick. Dog
Oh, it's
owners
so
get that kind
cute.
of stuff. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Well, show that instead of this thing is too close, right? This dog does not look cute here. It looks like it's got, scary teeth, and I can't even see its cute little eyes, right? Kind of thing. So just a better image there to get that tone and point of view across of what you're trying to do, right? This literally looks like you're trying to feed the lions at the zoo. Like I said, this video could be good if it had, voiceover. You're trying to explain the difference here, see what you're trying to do. This, we talked about this, you're going to turn your collection page into a decision-making engine. So you won't need this here. You can take them straight to that page.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have reviews on this page. So you can take your Judge Me,
True.
your
Yeah.
all reviews widget and put it here, right?
Yep.
You can also add reviews to your footer links and make a reviews page, which will help you with Google also. They like to see that.
I think
and you
we
have,
do. We call it happy customers, but should we just call it reviews?
yeah.
Okay.
And here's why. Like, I use Notion for my project management, and I have tasks inside of Notion. And every time I want to delete a task in Notion, and I use this app every day, all day long for 6 years now. Every single time I have to remember, and I forget it the first time I open it up, I'm looking for the word delete, and they've named it remove or move to trash, which technically I'm moving it to trash. I'm not deleting it. What do I expect to see every single time? The word delete. And every single time I go, oh, these idiots named it move to trash, even though I call it delete, right? You want to use your customer's language. Like, one of the things you're doing here also is you're trying to be cute, and I didn't mention that before. Like the fur ends or whatever thing, share with friends kind of thing. Like, you're trying too hard to be cute in the branding. And then what I'm talking about is here on the product page, and I didn't even critique it. I don't like the tell a friend thing. I don't think people have used that stuff since 2007. But yours doesn't even say tell a friend. It says tell a fur end, right? And just try to be cute. Like, and once again, I as the customer, A, you shouldn't have that thing there because nobody uses them. B, what the hell's a fur end, right? And I figured it out, but it took me half a second to do that. And I'm only going to give this whole site half a second of my time. And you've taken that up with something you think is cute, and is cute, but it really is making me think too hard, and I don't want to think too hard. I just want my dog to be happy.
Okay.
All right. So back to the homepage. What I wanted to see was, do you have Instagram, and are you posting? So you have 13,000 followers. That's really good. That's pinned. Let's go. Oh, you're doing videos. That's really good. I'm not seeing this content on your website, right? So one of the things you could do is you could add an Instagram feed to your homepage, not to engage people into your, you don't want to take people from your website to Instagram, but it shows a heartbeat, right? Just like those reviews are showing, hey, somebody bought 6 days ago. Your Instagram is saying, hey, somebody cared enough about this brand to post a video in the last week, which means if you place your order, somebody might actually be breathing on the other end to process that order and send it out to you, right?
Right.
So there's an app. I use InstaFeed. It's got a free level that allows you to put in a Instagram feed on your homepage, which gives you that little bit of life, right? So the last thing I want to, before I talk about that, I already mentioned this up here, right? This color of the top nav. Your goal when somebody lands on the site is to get them clicking to understand your products and to pick which product is best for them, right? And that takes a couple steps. We talked about those. What kind of dog do you have? What size? How aggressive of a chewer are they? Now, what I see here in these promotions, one is free priority shipping on orders over $125. The next one, because I get to scroll through, we donate a meal to a local shelter for every order. I did not see that on the product page anywhere. And then log in to see if you're an EverChew VIP and get a deal on starter packs as gifts. This whole thing is so horrible. I'm going to go off on it for a bit here, right?
That one was me, not Anthony. So this one's on me.
We don't have to name names here, Kirby. Come on, we're all friends. So first off, you need to convince people that they need to buy your products before you tell them about free shipping and things like that. We're getting ahead of ourselves too much. And this is a normal store mistake, right? Get free shipping. Like, they don't even know what you sell yet. and you're talking
Mm.
about free shipping, right? And by the way, how many people actually spend $125 and get free shipping on your store?
Probably happens more than you'd think.
I'm thinking 10%.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, which is so 10% of your customers get free shipping, and it's the first thing you promote on the website. So 90% of your people get told they're not good enough to get free shipping.
Mm.
How do you think that makes them feel?
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah. We used to put down shipping timers, you know, $75 away from free shipping. Learned over time that is a horrible thing to do, because what you're doing is you're telling people they're not special, they're not valuable, they don't get the privilege. And what do? They say screw you. They don't go, oh, I'm going to add more to my cart. They're like, screw you, I'm out of here, right? So
Mm.
you got to be careful with promoting free shipping. You definitely want free shipping as low a threshold as possible. You can't put it to zero if you can't do that for your business, but you don't want to alienate those that don't qualify for it. Okay.
Right.
So the next promotion is we donate a meal to a local shelter for every order. That sounds nice. I didn't see that anywhere in your about. I didn't see that anywhere in the product page. If that's going to be part of your
Mm.
brand's, value or mission, then make that part of the brand, not a top line, thing that nobody cares about yet until they actually want to purchase, right? So that's the kind of
Okay.
thing you show on the product page or in the cart, like, this order is going to feed a puppy or whatever kind of thing, and get them over that edge. They've decided what product they want. Now they're really debating whether to put down the credit card. Use that as the tool at that time to get them to do that.
Okay.
And then this one, I got to tell you, this is horribly written, right? Log in to see if you're an EverChew VIP. So it's worse than the spin and win, where
Yeah.
I don't even know if I qualify. So in a spin and win, everybody gets an equal chance in theory, right? And
Right.
I think spin and wins are horrible, but that's another story. This one here is like, are you good enough? And then you have to log in to find out. And let me guess, what makes an EverChew VIP? They've purchased before?
4 times.
4 times. How many of your customers hit that bar?
Right now, most of them.
Yeah, because of the nature of you not spending it, right? So, but here's the
Yeah.
thing: like, imagine you're a new customer. You're telling them that they have to log in to figure this out. You
Yeah.
you can't even tell them right now, right? It's just so what you're doing is you're telling your most loyal customers, "Hey, we love you," and by the way, and get a deal on a starter pack as gifts is deceiving, right? This to me sounds like it's your affiliate model, right? And you're trying to get them to refer a friend kind of thing. And
Kinda.
you're
Yeah.
telling them they should buy that as a gift for someone else. When I see the word gift, I'm thinking you're going to give me a free gift, because I'm
Yes.
not on a gifting website, right? If I was on a gifting website, I could see, give it, I'm buying chocolates and I see, buy as a gift. I understand I'm buying as a gift for someone else. When I'm on a dog chew thing and I see gifts, I'm thinking I'm getting something free. So
Mm.
90% of your people, if you had a good, flow of customers, won't qualify. And those that do qualify, they don't get something for it's
Mm.
this is the kind of thing where too many stores try to do everything at once and not at the right time. So when someone becomes a VIP, do you have Klaviyo? Do you have email?
Um, we are. We don't have Klaviyo, but we're starting to lean into emails. We haven't historically been
What are you
using it.
using for email?
I think he's using the Shopify native, which
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
isn't very good.
No, it sucks. You should use Klaviyo, right? And email marketing should be 25 to 33% of your revenue.
It's
Um,
not.
yeah, but here's the thing: like once you must set up Klaviyo. Like it's the next thing you need to do, right? If I was to prioritize things, literally, I would do Klaviyo before I do anything else I talked about in this conversation.
Hmm.
Um, just because retaining your existing customers and getting more money out of them and replenishable is so important, and such a 25 to 33% revenue stream. All the things I talked about, unless you start driving more traffic to the store, aren't going to move the needle as much because you already have that loyal user base. You just want to keep reminding them and keeping them coming back, right? If you
Hmm.
were, starting out from brand new, I wouldn't say focus on email. I would say focus on Google Ads or something like that. But since you've got this user base, email is a great way to start increasing your revenue. But back to the, log in to see if you're an EverChew VIP. Once you have email, the second time they get the time they place their fourth order, you'll have a flow set up that says, congratulations, you are an EverChew
Oh,
VIP, and you'll talk about all those benefits that they get, right?
yes. Okay.
So you don't have to promote that ever on the website. You just
Okay.
promote it to the people when they reach the threshold. Unless you think that dangling the carrot, and I don't think dangling carrots is a good thing to do, like I talked about with free shipping, right? There may be a time you do that kind of thing, but in this situation, I would get rid of that whole red, announcement bar at the top. And another thing I hate about these things is you have 3 of them, and
Yeah.
I have to sit here and wait for them to scroll through to see if they all are, or click on them. It's like just way too much work, and the messages are the wrong place at the wrong time. So
Okay.
the last thing to talk about is your brand. Brand is things like consistency. It's your graphics, it's iconography, it's your logo, it's your typography, and those things. And you're doing a pretty good job there, where you guys definitely have, the color palette of the green and orange. You're doing that consistently, and the green is based on the color of your product. It makes total sense, right? Your EverChew logo, a little cartoonish, I think. Is this icon, or is this font used elsewhere? Is this font the same as this one? I don't
Our
think it
fonts
is.
may not match.
Yeah, I would match that font. Whatever font you're using here, I would make it your heading font or something like that, just to add a little consistency. Now, this is a really simple sans font in bold, so it won't be noticed as much. But when you tie those things together, I think a lot of branding is about consistency,
Hmm.
and your customers don't consciously notice it; they subconsciously notice it, right? So, like I said before, with your Judge Me badges, they didn't map. So you've got this. Let's call it magic marker, type, graphic thing you're doing in different places. And there's a
Hmm.
consistency in that you're doing it. I called those gratuitous and unneeded before, but the positive of them is you're doing them consistently. And that consistency provides that branding element. But you see how this seal here doesn't map to this hand-drawn graphic thing here. So
Hmm.
that lack of consistency, you want to think about how do you bring that together.
Hmm.
Um, so your fonts to me, yeah, see, there's different colors going on too. So like here, I've got a white heading. This is, you've got contrast issues with all these dark colors here, right? But this one's not white, right? It's got a slight gray to it, or whatever color is thrown in there, which is different than that
Yeah.
one. And
Yeah.
when I look at those little things, you start asking questions like, why is it that way, right? But that said, you're actually doing most of this stuff really well. In that, for example, this is a sentence cased heading. This is a sentence cased heading. Um,
Hmm.
this is sentence case. So there's consistency in capitalization. Um, yeah, even here. Yeah, so that's nicely done. Um, I think you're doing better than average on branding. Let's put it that way. Because
Well, good. Thanks.
you have a look and a feel when you come here, right? And the green is just, so dominant. Now, once you take that green off the background, if you were to do that, I'm not saying you have to, but if you were, that would take it down a notch. It would help your contrast, but you'd lose that little bit of branding in there. So there's a debate whether or not that's the right thing to do. And right
Hmm.
now, I think it's so strong. I'd keep it. What I would do is I would take your footer and take that up to a dark green background, um,
Ah,
to give them
okay.
more contrast between the page and the footer, right? But if you do that, you're going to have problems with the graphics. But I don't want those graphics in the footer, anyways. Right? I think that's it for me right now. I've talked. Oh wow, we've gone for quite a bit of time. Any questions on that? Any feedback for me? Like, yeah, Scott, you're a moron about this or that kind of thing. I'm totally open to that too. So
No, it's funny because you ended up saying you like the green background because it was good for branding, and you started out saying you hated it, but then you slowly evolved over time. But
you win me over.
that was kind of funny. But I, especially when you started making fun of my VIP header, you mentioned it. I knew I was in trouble at that point.
Well, yeah, but overall, like, what I didn't say is overall, what I love is you have a product that is unique. You make your
Yep.
own product, right? That's fabulous.
Yes. Yep.
You guys have a passion about this. Success is yours, right? You just got to execute a little more tightly than you are already, right? You're doing well. Now you just got to execute a little more tightly. Make it easier for customers, right? Stop trying to be so cute and stop trying to do more and dazzle people, and just, your product is simple. Purchasing it should be simple. The benefit of it is simple to understand. Help people do that, right? Like I said, too many people try to be too sophisticated and just give customers the benefit of the doubt, and you really can't do that. They're just too busy.
Yes.
And you get to have cute dogs everywhere. Who doesn't love that?
Yeah. And as you mentioned about how distracted the customer is and they want it simple, I can picture myself on other websites. And then, so you're describing me distracted in a hurry.
Oh, yeah.
I just need to apply it to our own site.
Absolutely. We all assume our customers care way more about what we're selling than they do, right? And, it's just a world of choice out there. Anything that prevents them from continuing on, saying yes to what's going on, any confusion, they're too busy, or if it takes too long, even if they want to buy it, they're at the dentist office and they get called to the chair. So they're like, and they forget about you, kind of thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you just got to make it as quick and simple as possible, because that's the world that people are operating in.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I appreciate your time today.
This was fabulous, Scott.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
It was a hoot.
It takes a brave person to sit here and listen to me rant for an hour.
No, it was good. You've given us so much to work with.
Good.
I really appreciate it, man.
I'm glad to hear that. All right. Thanks for your time today.
All right. No, thank you so much. Bye.
You've been listening to the Shopify Solutions Podcast with Scott Austin. This podcast is brought to you by Jade Puma, a Shopify-focused agency located in San Diego, California. If you like what you heard, please leave a review and subscribe on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. If you'd like to work with Scott on your brand, email him at scott@jadepuma.com.